Okay, so now I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so very quickly, now we are looking at the first question. All right. So when we look at the first question, okay, now I just want to ask, Pranati, is this your first lesson?
Yes.
It's your first lesson. Yeah, that's why I see that, you look like a new face. Okay, so usually, Pranati, in case you wonder, we will always start with a questionnaire to find out what you already have learned, what you remember. But because today's lesson is not exactly, okay, about learning, it's more for practicing. Okay, practice more questions to prepare for P6. All right. So I skip the questionnaire. I go straight into the question. Usually my lesson, they do questionnaire first, and then I will be asking them a little bit of question. Then after that, we'll watch videos, okay, before we go into the actual worksheet practice. Can? Right. So that means, Pranati, later on at the end of the lesson, I will be speaking with your mom or your dad. Okay? Yeah. Ange, are you around? Can you turn on the camera? Yeah, so I cannot see your face. Ange, you need to adjust your camera. You're not facing up. Okay. Ange, can you adjust the camera? Yeah, so I can't see you still. I can only see your hair. Okay, up some more. Either you adjust your camera. Is it laptop? Laptop, you can actually adjust it, ma? Cannot. Okay, can you try to do that the next lesson? Okay, I'll remind your parents. Right, so come back to the question now. Okay, a plastic block attached to a spring balance. Okay, so we have the plastic block here, and then it's attached to the spring balance. It's placed on a wooden tabletop. All right, then the spring is pulled. Okay, so the spring balance is being pulled until the block starts to move. The reading on the spring balance is taken. Experiment is repeated on glass and tiled tabletops. Okay, so on glass as well as tiled tabletops. Different readings are recorded. What causes the readings to be different? So remember, I mentioned previously, when you see actions like these, okay, any dragging or pushing or pulling, it has got to be related to frictional force. Okay. Okay, it will be related to frictional force. So what is your answer here? Do you think the mass of the spring balance will matter? Is this a similar or familiar question to the rest of you? Yes, right. Get so. Okay, good. Get so you notice that it's actually a repeat question, isn't it? Yeah. Why do they want to give repeat question? I think they want to test whether you have done your work the last time or you remember our lesson, whether you remember what we have gone through. Julian says it's B. Okay, let's check whether he is correct. Okay, Ange, can you try not to do annotation on the slides? Okay, don't do the annotation. I can see your dot here. Then I can see your dot at the lower left-hand corner also. Ange, I need you to turn on the camera. Okay, let's check whether this is correct. Mass of the spring balance, will it matter? It wouldn't. Okay, it's not going to affect anything. Correct? Because none of the parts of the spring balance is in contact with the tabletop. The mass of the tabletop, okay, nothing to do with whatever we are looking at this here. Mass of the plastic block, okay, the mass of the plastic block will affect in certain ways. All right, but then the very direct, okay, impact is actually the friction between the surfaces. What surfaces? What are the different surfaces we are talking about? Ian, try this. Friction between different surfaces. All right. What are the surfaces here for this question, Ian? Can or not? Cannot. Okay. It's okay. Don't worry. All right, don't be stressed out. It's not supposed to be a stressful situation. Okay, our session must be fun. Okay, look at my hand. Okay, the top surface of my left hand. All right, then I put my right hand on top. Okay, then I try to rub my hands, cannot. Okay, against each other. So there's friction. There's friction between the surfaces. What are the surfaces? The friction is actually between the surfaces in contact. For my case, it will be the two palms, right? The palm on the right hand as well as the palm on the left hand. Okay, they are in contact. I try to rub my palms, okay, together. So this is the friction that is being produced. Yes or no? So the friction between the surfaces is always the surfaces in contact. So I want you to write down somewhere when we talk about the friction between the different surfaces, okay, it has to be the surfaces that are in contact. And in this case, what are the surfaces in contact? That creates the friction. Okay. Rose, you want to try, Rose? What are the surfaces in contact? Can you look at the diagram here? Okay, look at the diagram over here. What are the surfaces?
Plastic block and wooden tabletop.
Yes, okay, the surface, okay, of the plastic block and the wooden tabletop that are in contact. So the surfaces of the plastic block and the tabletop that are in contact must always answer very clearly this way. Any question? No question, huh? If I ask you and you cannot answer, that means you are deficient in this area. Okay? Everything that I ask you are important for your PSLE. Right? So these words are important when you are doing this topic in school. If you're not doing the topic now, okay, next time you'll be doing it. When you're doing the topic in school, you will need to take note. When you're answering questions, missing out certain words will not give you full marks. Clear? Can I go on? If we can finish today early, let's have Kahoot. Prepare ready. Right? I prepared. Really. So you got to participate, okay? Yes, thank you. If you don't participate, then we can't play the Kahoot. Okay? To prove to you that I have already prepared, take a look at this. Can you see? I prepared already, right? So, have some energy, okay, people? We will sure enjoy ourselves later, okay? I promise you we will play some games. I know after so long, still no games, you will be wondering whether I'm lying. Okay, I'm not. I prepared. Okay, now a plank and a trolley.
Wait, teacher, are we going to do exam papers later?
Yes, of course. These questions are too easy. I have prepared some questions. All right. Okay, so later on you'll see certain MCQ I will skip, because really too easy. I want to do structured question. Can? Are you okay for a structured question? Yeah, the long questions are at the booklet B. So how about this one? You see a plank, all right, and a trolley are used to move 50 kg load from the ground to a truck, which is 1 meter high. Which of the following statements are true? See, the wheels on the trolley reduce the frictional force produced. Is it true? Does it reduce? Yes, good. Rose, you actually nodded your head. Very good. I see
Wait,
responses
but
like,
teacher, at D, right, they say energy, not force.
yeah, I will address it. You wait, Okay, I will tell you why it's like that. Okay, without the trolley, a greater force is required to move the load on the plank. True or not? Without the trolley, is it tougher? Yes, thank you, Pranati. Okay, this is really it can be known as also like common sense. If you are trying to push something up the truck, you know how difficult it is, right? If there's nothing to assist us. See, without the plank and the trolley, the load can be lifted vertically using a smaller force. Can it? No. The load has gravitational potential energy when it is above ground, but has no gravitational potential energy when it is placed on the truck. So, what is your answer here? What was the answer that was given? Someone tell me. Ian say ABD, huh? Was that the answer given to you when you all did the paper? Yeah, I know. Okay, but can you ignore this first? So we are not going to consider option D today because we are talking about energy, right? Have we done energy? No. So I wouldn't want to confuse you by going into energy. From my own experience, it is not right to teach energy and forces at the same time because it's going to confuse you. But in PSLE, okay, in PSLE, forces and energy can be combined in the question. Can you all please write down? Okay, when we are doing energy already, and then I show you questions on the combination, I will tell you how to be very careful with your answer such that you don't mix up forces and energy. This is a common error I noted in my students as well as other school students. Remember, I marked PSLE paper, right? So I do know. Okay, so we are going to ignore this first because of the gravitational potential energy. So we are going to stick to sentence A and sentence B. Option C is our answer today. Yeah, when we go into gravitational potential energy, I need to talk to you a bit more. Okay, in PSLE, these two are combined. All right, and this is the part that always scares students and confuse students, but we are going to make it so clear that you will not be confused. Next. This one. All right. This is a good question because it tests your graph skills also. You know that in science, it's not just about understanding the contents, etc. You must learn how to read graph also. Yes or no? Were you all told by teachers? Yeah. Okay. Reading data, understanding graph is important. A wooden block was put up a ramp using a spring balance. So again, a spring balance, pull this wooden block up a ramp. Okay, and then amount of force needed to pull it was recorded. Experiment repeated. But then this angle here was increased. What's the meaning of increase? Increase means the slope is going to be more steep. More steep means, okay, if I try to draw, I don't think I can draw so nicely, but you know, yeah, this is like a slight increase, right? Maybe just 5 degrees, but can you see that the slope become more steep? Every time you increase the angle, it's going to make the slope steeper. Yes? So every time it becomes steeper, what happens? Is it easy to move the wooden block?